I'm breaking out, I'm breaking in. I just can't help this state I'm in. I'm on my way, y'all. So put your shades on, this light's so bright, it's blinding. I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love. Breaking free, I'm breaking ground. I can't explain this thing I found. The clouds have moved on, I got my groove on. This pep in my steps infectious. I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love. I've been stuck in a rut, I've been shit out of luck. I've been wondering what is up with me. And then I realized it's up to me to decide. I can just be radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love.
You are an irresistible magnet with the power to attract unto yourself everything that you desire and anything you desire. Hi, welcome. I'm Reverend Jay. I'm here in Palm Springs this weekend. Went to a celebration of life ceremony yesterday and going to a film festival today. So we are broadcasting live from Palm Desert, actually. Behind me is the pool and some beautiful mountains and trees that you can look at now and again while you're listening. You can always listen. You don't have to watch me. You can look at what's going on. You may hear some air conditioning sounds. The pool, as you can see, is right behind me, so people could be talking, all kinds of things. But you know, just like in the movement of life, the sometimes chaos of life, we have to zen ourselves within that. Also, I'm not sure about the Wi-Fi around here. It seems to work, but it might be a little fluttery. I'm as close as I know to the Wi-Fi booster, so if I freeze a little bit, you'll probably still hear me, and then you can just stare at the beautifulness on one of my shoulders. So that's what's going on this morning. We will go through it with faith in hand, with our heart open, and I'm just happy to be here. So happy Sunday. Welcome to all of you. Welcome to new folks who are bringing their consciousness to our consciousness. We appreciate that you're here with us. So what is the New Thought Spiritual Center? What is it about? What do we do? Who are we? Watch this video. You'll see. Yeah, this month our theme is Declare It. And that's what we're talking about all month, declaring it. Also, this month we are highlighting our purpose statement, which is reveal the divinity in you. That's why we're here. That's the whole purpose of this whole organization, is to reveal the divinity that's already within you. You don't have to go anywhere special. You don't have to come to Palm Springs. You don't have to stay where you are in the world. That divinity is with you at all times, everywhere. All you have to do, if you want to purposefully use the power of that divinity that is within you, is to reach out and grab it and allow it to reveal itself in you. So we like to start early in getting into our sacred space here at the New Thought Spiritual Center, so that the rest of this service and the rest of your day is heartfelt and is connected to spirit or the divine, or whatever you want to call that universal power. So let's get into it right now. I want you to sit down. If you're not sitting, sit down or stand still for just a minute. You could start moving around a little later if you're moving around and listening. If you're in the car, of course you can't do this if you're driving. But put your feet on the ground. If you happen to be sitting down, put your feet on the ground or put them cross-legged if that's comfortable for you. And I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to hold it. 3, 2, 1, and then let it out through your mouth. What we want to do when we take these deep breaths together is to do it slowly. We're slowing down the rhythm of life, so to speak. We're slowing down the rhythm of what might have been going on last week that is still rolling around in our head, or the anticipation of what's going to happen next week, what's going on at work or something. So we take this slow breath in, and then we hold it, let that oxygen float around, and then we let it out through our mouth, slowly. So continue doing that. And you can close your eyes if you want, or you can put them at a soft focus. Today we're going to do a little special thing in our guided meditation. Those new to us, we do a guided meditation at this time. We're going to do something new. I'm going to lead you into the guided meditation, but then you're going to listen to this beautiful song, or watch, because there'll be a video if you'd like to put your eyes at a soft focus. A beautiful song by Faith Rivera called Rise. So that'll be what will be going on in your sacred space as you meditate for those 5 minutes of the song. It's a beautiful song, a fabulous message, and we'll enjoy it together in just a moment. So let us step into our sacred space right now. It is at this time that we enter into our sacred space, opening our heart and mind to awaken the highest and deepest part of our divine selves. In doing so, we plant the seeds of our greatest adventure, nurturing them with the water of faith and the soul of spirit. Calling in wisdom from ancient times, quantum science. As we do, we now transcend time and space into the grace, love, and power of the universe. Once again, take that deep breath. We're now going to invite, as we exhale, the energies to purposefully and intentionally come to us, the energies from the Mother Earth coming forth up from the bottom of our feet. Feel that energy. Feel that vibration. Feel the Mother Gaia reaching out with its hands, energizing us, vibrating as it rises up, gliding past our feet. And this energy moving forth to the bottom of our spine, the base of our spine, that first chakra. And as you feel it reaching there, allow it to drop back down to the earth. Through whatever you're sitting on, through the floor, through the ground, past the rock, to the very center of this planet. This energy now circulates from its core to our core, from our core to its core. Simultaneously, we invite from the cosmos all around us, but like the sun's rays falling upon us, above us, this energy enters from the top of our head. We allow it to flow down our body, down our faces, to our shoulders, down our arms, past our fingers, this energy of the sun, this frequency of the universe. We allow it to vibrate and glow in our heart center, knowing that connection to the divine, to the universe is full and clear and strong. As we continue to allow this energy to pass by and through each of our energy centers, through our spine, down our spine, allow it to hit that first chakra, that first energy center, that place at the bottom of our spine where it connects to the Mother Gaia. And so that our body is awash in the energies of spirit. When we take a deep breath, hold it, 3, 2, 1, let it out with a whoosh. And now listen to the beautiful song from Faith Rivera. Rise, rise, rise.
I close my eyes, I open my heart, I'll take a deep breath. Let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in. I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, spirit rise up. Rise in me, I let in my soul, I clear my mind, I'm here and now, in present time, I feel the power of 1,000 suns, lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one, oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me, oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. You sing to me, change up this noise, make sweet harmony. Come on and rise, oh
Yeah, rise up. Take a deep breath with me as we rise up, as we open ourselves up to our higher selves, to those higher planes of consciousness. As our meditation molds into our life, to our experiences from this moment on, this rising up now lives within us. It can't go away. We've placed it in our lives. And as we take another deep breath and exhale through our mouths, we know this is so, always and gratefully, as we release this guided meditation. And so it is. So you can leave your eyes closed if you like, or at a soft focus, or you can open them and watch me as we talk about our affirmative incantation for the week. Our affirmative incantation is like an affirmation. It's a little longer usually than an affirmation. It's kind of a combination of a prayer and an affirmation where we dig a little deeper than just a 1 or 2 sentence affirmation. We dig a little deeper, we take a little more time to bring into our consciousness, bring into our belief system, and thus bring into our lives these ideas. It gets us started. We do it at the beginning of the day. We do it right before we go to sleep twice a day. So Steve is going to pop up the affirmative incantation for the week. There it is. And I'll read it. And you can listen or read it along with me. It is in the notes on Facebook and on YouTube as far as the description of the broadcast this morning, so you can always refer back, and it will be in the e-blast on Monday or Tuesday. Here we go. Every step I take is an extension of my faith in the divine presence within me. Every trail I tread allows me to see through my junk and old stories. It is an extension of my faith in divine love surging through me. Every skip, every stride, every leap far and wide is an extension of my faith that divine intelligence always has my back. I do not chase, I attract. I do not race, I declare. What belongs to me will simply find me on the road I journey today, because every step I take is an extension of my faith in my power to be the magnet of my greatness. That's your affirmative incantation for this week. So this morning I want to start with the lyrics of Faith Rivera's song, Rise Up. And she says, I close my eyes, I open my heart, I take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, and let love in, I feel the beat. That's calling us to rise spirit. To rise spirit in me, in you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, to have spirit with you. When we're faced with challenges of our old ways, and we all have old ways, we all have old stories, we all have old thinking habits, even feeling, reacting, or being habits. When those show up, or like, last Friday was Yom Kippur, the High Holy Way, the Jewish High Holy Day. That was Friday. And when things like that, when holidays or celebrations show up like that, it's a calling for us. It's a calling for us to forgive those old stories, to move on to something new, whatever that new is. And we get to decide because we have choice what that new will be. Or if life feels a little uncertain, our footing seems to be somewhat unstable, that's the time. And right now, it's the time to push past our comfort zone. We all have comfort zones, and we will all have new comfort zones. It's pretty much never ending. But the great thing about it is on the other side of the comfort zone is that new story, that new journey, that new adventure, that new wonderful thing that comes into your life. See, there are universal truths that we can lean on, that we can lean into to deepen our understanding of life and help us find our footing and new handholds if we must have them to push past those comfort zones and bust through and soar and zoom, like we always say, to our next adventure. But what are those universal truths? You know, sometimes we need to be reminded of those universal truths. But first, I want to remind you of what I talked about last week, if you weren't here. I was talking about some LY words, like typically, normally, usually. They're powerful words, actually, that can be used either as an excuse. Well, typically I do this, so I'm not going to do that, even though that is a better way. Or they can be used as a word, an empowering word to match, to light that match, to put that match to the fire in your belly, whatever the new fire in your belly is. Typically, I don't do this because I'm going to do that now. So you can use those words that way, either way. But I have found that the most powerful LY word of all is faithfully. Faithfully, like declare, is a word of decisiveness and conviction. You can't be faithful to something or somebody unless you have conviction, unless you've made a declaration, a vow, a pledge, all rolled up into what becomes a belief in your life. This is my belief. This is a value of mine. And so that's the way it's going to be, because I have faith in that idea. This faith is self-made, it's self-regulated, it's self-induced, it's self-powered, but it's always backed by the universe. Because the more faith you have, the more the universe brings that matches that faith. It's the most powerful action, really, that we can take in mind and body, is having faith in some idea, in some person, and of course, especially in ourselves, which then connects us to the divine. Because that's what we are. We're connected to the divine. We reveal the divinity all day, every day. Having faith creates that perspective, that perception, that conviction, and thus the approach we have to everything in our lives. Faith illuminates any darkness into light. It helps us see everything as good, that everything that is good is God in action. And good doesn't necessarily mean good times, meaning positive times, but good information, good education, good support, even sometimes good confirmation of what not to do. The act of faith brings to us. In the book, How to Use the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes wrote, do we have enough conviction to turn away from negative conditions and mentally contemplate their opposites? Can we turn away from poverty and accept abundance? Can we turn away from illness and believe in health? Can we separate ourselves from unhappiness and accept happiness? Can we quiet all discord long enough to contemplate harmony? And do we have the courage to proceed based on this? He's talking about faith. He's talking about living faithfully. Now, before we go any further, I want to define faith. Because faith has this whole religious thing, and faith doesn't have to be a religious thing. It's not necessarily religious. It's not even necessarily spiritual. The word faith comes from the Greek word pistevo, which means believe. So it's a belief. Faith is a belief. What is your belief? This person can't tell you what to believe. I can't tell you what to believe. Only you can tell you and live what you believe. Only you can decide what you have faith in. And what do we teach? We teach it is our belief in the universal law of cause and effect, and our conviction, also a belief, in the idea of what we want is going to manifest in our experience. We believe in that idea. We have faith in that idea. We have faith in ourselves to use the law of cause and effect because the universe has our back to bring that into our experience. I believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, self-existent cause. That's a belief. That's something we have faith in. It doesn't matter if you find it or use it through prayer or meditation or contemplation or using affirmations of some time or our affirmative incantations or any self-talk you have. If you don't like to do that stuff that seems too religious or too spiritual, that self-talk that you have with yourself when you're writing down your goals, when you're writing in your journal, when you're contemplating life. Whoever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, however you want to call that power and presence that is in the universe and thus is all around us and within us. When we reach this higher level of consciousness, and we step into that when we do our guided meditation here every week, when we recognize that the power within us is a power to decide, is a power to intend, is a power to believe and declare. And sometimes it's hard, I get it. And sometimes we have to dig deep and work hard, I get it. But we must engage. We must engage if we want to move forward. We must engage in our use of the creative power to navigate all these challenges that are around us, all these conditions that show up, all these thoughts, feelings, or beliefs, especially the old ones that don't work for us, if they ever did in the first place, and convert them into the new ones that define the experience we desire to have. But first we have to figure out what those are. We know we have the faith that the universe is behind us, that backs us. But we have to sit and decide what it is we want the universe that we have faith in to back us. We're equipped with the finest mental art there is, and that is living faithfully. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of ways to live faithfully. And one way, of course, when we are feeling out of faith, out of belief, off kilter a little bit, one way is breath. Talked about this before. Breath is a big thing. Pranayama, as they say in Hindu. Mark Nepo wrote this about breath. Breathing is the fundamental unit of risk, the atom of inner courage that leads us into authentic living. Love that. With each breath, we practice opening, taking in, and releasing. Literally, the teacher is under our nose. When anxious, we simply have to remember to breathe. Now, breath, it's not some woo-woo thing, man. Yale University did a big study with a bunch of students, and they participated in a yoga and breath work program. It wasn't just yoga, but there was breath work with that. And the report of this Yale University study showed improvements in stress, depression, positivity, mindfulness, and social connectedness. People started connecting again to themselves, to each other, and as you connect to each other in a true way, you're also connecting to the universe, you're connecting to God, to spirit, whatever you want to call it. Now, here's just a few quickie breath methods, and we do this before our guided meditation, of course. Before there's the 4-7-8 method, where you close your lips and inhale through your nose for a count of 4, similar to what we do. Hold your breath for a count of 7. I only do 4. And exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound for a count of 8, which we pretty much do. There's the alternate nostril breathing you can do. There's the holotropic breath work. Now, this is interesting. It was created by a transpersonal Czech psychiatrist. There are two of them, a married couple, I believe, Stanislav and Christina Grof. is their name, and it's practiced with a qualified practitioner to the rhythm of primal music. And you might be able to find a practitioner of holotropic breathwork near you. And they do it with primal music. It gets very primal, and you breathe very rapidly for up to a couple hours, and all kinds of things are accessed through there, especially higher states of consciousness and a connection with the soul. There's shamanic breath work, which was developed by it's ancient, but it was developed in a modern sense in the 90s by Linda Starr Wolf, who's a modern shaman. And there's a lot of smudging going on. I don't know if you've ever done smudging and chanting and setting of intentions, and there's rhythmic breathing to primal music as practitioners, or her maybe, if you find Linda Starr Wolf and go to one of her retreats, where there's chakra healing, and you get in contact with your animals, spirits, and guides, and it's a beautiful, beautiful ceremony if you find that. Something that's very popular right now in breath work is Wim Hof. Has been popular, but it has made another resurgence. Wim Hof is very intense breath work. When you work with him, you get exposure to cold, and you actually get into some hyperventilation type meditation. But basically, the breakdown is that you take 30 power breaths, and then after that, take a deep inhale and retain that breath for as long as it's comfortable. Then exhale, and then you take another deep breath for about 10 to 15 seconds, hold it for a little bit, and then exhale, and then you repeat this process for a few more rounds. That's something you can do at home without getting into the hyperventilation situation. That breath work, I've done it, and I do it, and it's actually very powerful. But breath work, is one of those things that opens us up to our faith, because it centers us, it grounds us, it gives us kind of a start over in a way, even in the middle of the day, if you must. And of course, another way and a big way to reestablish your faith or strengthen your faith is through practicing the presence, which is what we do every week, which is what I pretty much talk about in one way or another every week, using prayer or meditation or any kind of mind-body modality, alignment modality to bring forth, to reveal that consciousness, to reveal that divinity, reminding ourselves of the principles of oneness, principles of love, divine love, principles of gratitude and appreciation for not only what we have, but what we're bringing into our lives because of our choice. And of course, celebrating creation, celebrating that beautiful pool, these beautiful trees, those mountains in the background. We become aware in those moments. We awaken to in those moments. We experience that one infinite reality. And you can call it what you want. You cannot call it anything. But there is this power in the universe. Everything is made of energy. And even if you aren't spiritual or religious or anything, or you do realize scientifically that everything is energy and everything is connected. Science tells us that, not religion, not spirituality. And of course, as we reveal this divinity, or whatever you want to call it, we share it, we express it with the joy of our gratitude of life, our appreciation of life, of the good that we have already received. And as we share it, we inspire others, maybe unknowingly. They don't have to put that faith word to use the concept of faith, to be in faith, to live faithfully, or knocking at the universe's door for more light and greater spiritual wisdom. I have another quote here from Lao Tzu that I want to read to you. He said, "There's no need to run outside for better seeing, nor to peer from a window. Rather, abide at the center of your being, For the more you leave it, the less you learn. Search your heart and see if it is wise, and find the wisdom in those who take each turn. The way to do that is to be, is to just be. Not being still in that you're not doing anything, but just be, just allow, like we do in the guided meditation sometimes. I don't speak, and in those moments you're just allowing, you're just opening up, and faith is part of that opening up. Now, I know the roads to wherever you're going, the roads to your journey, your adventure, aren't always smooth. I get it. Mine aren't always smooth either. They could be windy, they could be bumpy, they could be full of potholes and pain, trauma sometimes, unfortunately. But always remember, even in the thick of it, in the thick of the, at least seemingly, negativity of it, that we're also surrounded by fabulous trees, flowers, majestic mountains like behind me, and beautiful and fascinating landscape and people and different, unique, inspirational books and words and people. Music, faith in music and what it teaches you and what it invokes in you. If you look, you'll find it is a good time right now, and tomorrow, and the next day, to use those tools you have. You don't have to have all the tools, all the quote-unquote tools that I teach or that you might read about or hear about. You don't have to be a master of all those. What you need to be a master of is faith. Faith in your decisions, faith in the power that you have. It's okay if is going on, junk's going on in your life. Vent it out, talk about it, get it out of your system so you can move forward. Complain, get angry, have a pity party if you want. That's okay, do that for a couple of minutes. Why not? Remove it. That is faith in yourself, to use your ability to remove that initial yuckiness that's getting in your way. You can get all fancy with the words, but basically it's yuckiness that's in your way. But as you vent, not venting to get attention, but to release. You're using your tool of. So remember that the road, like you drive on, the road to your mind is always changing. So practicing the presence from this thing called, do you want to read? Your faith can penetrate the clouds of unbelief and reveal the truth that is always perfect. Your words do not create this truth, but only reveal it. Yeah. Your thought operating through the law of life can satisfy your need. Turn fear into faith, loss into gain, failure into success. Act as if you already have opinion over XYZ. Yeah, that's powerful. Acting as if. I know that becomes some sort of woo-woo thing, but acting as if is very powerful because it's a step. It's a step towards. It's using your power of faith as a step towards what it is you want. So one more bit of Faith Rivera, and then we'll wind this up. But listen to this. She said, I ready my soul. I clear my mind. I'm here and now in present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. We are one. We're one with infinite reality, called by many names. It is a power. It is energy that is undivided. It is complete and whole in itself already. This energetic force that is there creates everything out of itself. Everything we desire, it creates out of itself, out of that power. It's part of the 3D world. It's part of the higher level of dimensions, whatever you want to call those. It is in the tangible. It's in the untangible. It's in the infinite opportunities that are there. It's in the physical. It's in the metaphysical. This power, this presence. gives us the ability to seemingly bend reality. Let's acknowledge that divine order regardless of the conditions. Let us know when we judge our roads as rocky, we look for the lesson and then make ice cream. Take a look at that. And while you take a look at that, let me tell you that the future is bright with promise. I promise you. You don't have to like what's going on, just love it so you can move on beyond it. So you can move past it towards your future, towards the future you want. And understand that those things are just continuations of the one unbroken chain of life. The faith in who you are and the power within you. There is no future to be afraid of and no past to have discord to be in your present. With faith of who you are and the power within you, you are in with the whole. You are in with the universe, expanding with it, expanding your life, expanding your ideas, expanding your wisdom, and expressing that unconscious cooperation with the whole, the universal power that I talk about all the time. With faith in who you are and the power within you, you are an ever-expanding principle of conscious intelligence. And just like the universe, you are truly birthless, deathless, changeless. As they say, God as man, in man, is man. God as not even person, because I believe God is in this plastic that made this phone that I'm speaking in front of. God as human and animal and mineral. In human, animal, and mineral is all. The highest God and the innermost God or divine spirit, whatever you want to call it, is one and the same God. That is you. You are that power. Yeah, I know that sounds a little... You are that power. So let us know together right now. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let it out. And know this with me. In this moment, I affirm and remain firm for each and every one of us in this conviction that our lives are a part of the divine intelligence. And this intelligence is incarnate within each and every one of us. And so we can have faith without compromise. We can have faith without compromise. Faith in the masterpiece that is you, the masterpiece that is me, no matter the conditions you see, the noise around you, or anything you feel now. Faith in the universal power that breathes inside each of us, enlightening and boosting intuition, imagination, and the skills of manifestation. Faith in the pliability of the brain, the sovereignty of the mind. Faith in our ability to move our mind, illuminate our heart, and follow our true instincts. Say this with me. I allow, I accept, I receive, I live, I share soothing, healing love. I have faith, I think with faith, I live with faith. And so I am a master of faith, here and now. And so it is. One more quote from Joel Goldsmith, because he wrote a book called Practicing Presence, and I want to leave you with this. It is possible for anyone to change the trend in his life, not by hearing or reading truth, but by making it an active part of consciousness and daily experience, until it becomes a habit every moment of the day, instead of an occasional thought, or the result, I should say, of an occasional talk. Keep the faith, my friends, with no compromise. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Let us place our hands on our hearts and together declare our love offering blessing. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you for your blessed love offerings.
We are, of course, blessed to have you here. And before we close out for the morning, I want to show you where we are on social media. Please watch. So you'll see scrolling thank yous on the bottom. You won't get to see them all because I'm going to zip through these announcements. Of course, I always want to thank Steve Apperson, our director here. He has no ability to help the Wi-Fi where I am right now. So anything that happened there, of course, is not his fault. But we thank Steve for always being with us every Sunday and making the best of our broadcast. We will continue the broadcast when we start back in person on October 6th at Tag Studios. Join us on our e-blast twice a week, and you'll get the address, etc. I'll run it next week, but you'll get the address, etc. to Tag Studios on Magnolia Boulevard in the North Hollywood, Burbank, right there, kind of on the line area, about 9 blocks from Porto's for those San Fernando Valley folk. It's a landmark about now. Also, looks like my Wi-Fi got a little weird because that's the sign. So we will move on from that, and I just want to say that thank you so much for joining us this week. I snuck in a spiritual mind treatment, our closing treatment in my talk. So let us just know together very quickly, there is one mind. We are of that one mind, and everything we said and heard and felt throughout this hour is embraced and reveals the divinity in us as we move forward, vibrating at the speed of the divine and busting through, soaring and zooming our greatest life from this moment on. We are appreciative and grateful for this knowing, for this power, being in faith with absolutely no compromise. We do this here and now as I release this word, as together we say, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. Hallelujah. Have a most blessed week. We'll see you next Sunday. Namaste. Watch this music from
May you see
Me